Good morning, Starshine. This is Smadar from Song of Stones. And I just realized when you hear this, it might not be morning for you. So, good day, I will say then. So, I am a crystal whisperer, and that means that I talk to stones and they talk to me. And I share those messages that I get from the stones that I call star songs on my website, songofstones.com, and with my clients when they ask me to listen to a stone for them. And today I am here with this beautiful circle of stones. Individually, these stones all came to me at different times with different purposes. The quartz it's such a magical stone, I don't even know where to begin, but I'll tell you that it first came to me quite some time ago, and it allowed me to experience something that I've never experienced before. It was quite an amazing event, and that was the birth of a fairy baby. And that fairy baby is still here in the crystal. You may or may not see her. But she is there. Well, if you're sensitive, and I imagine that if you're here listening to this, you certainly are, then you'll at least be able to feel her presence. And the crystal itself is magical. There's a glowing orb inside the crystal. There is, it had changed color, so it's a transformation crystal. It's quite an amazing being. And then the green stone beside her is malachite. And I don't know if you'll be able to see what I saw in this stone at this angle, but what I was seeing was Groot from the Avengers, I want to say. I feel like I might have said that wrong, but one of those amazing Marvel superhero movies with Groot. And it's just so amazing how exactly this stone looks like Groot and a Groot baby. So there you go, more babies. And then the dark stone is a sacred 7 crystal, and inside are an inner 7. I don't know if you would call them crystals or kind of like the opposite of a crystal. It's a space inside. It's now I'm trying to remember what I think people call them skeletal crystals. I don't feel that name quite covers what they are. They are a way to go inside out of yourself, of reality, of a situation. Honestly, I didn't even know that until just this moment. That's what I'm hearing from this crystal. I will sometimes, they'll talk to me in the moment, and I'll share what I'm receiving. So this crystal, when I connected with it, it was fairly recently, and I've got blog posts on all these crystals, I believe, except the next one. But what it reminded me of was a Star Trek episode, and my geek will show it right now. Um, a Star Trek episode with where Captain Picard, it was the Next Generation, and Captain Picard is gifted with this beautiful artifact from an ancient alien civilization called the Kurlan civilization, I believe. And inside the artifact, it's actually a bowl with a lid. And when you open it up, there are little figurines inside, meant to represent the many parts of ourselves. And then the other one is one of my personal crystals. It's a rhodochrosite, and it came to me many, many, many years ago. Rhodochrosite is a very old friend, and I don't know yet why this particular stone came to be here, but you can probably sense the energy of these 4 crystals together and see how harmonious they are. So the 4 of them came together to help me create something, to help all of us create something, actually. And I have been speaking about it in recent communications on my website and anywhere else you hear my voice. And what I'm creating came to me in a vision probably a year ago, give or take. And that vision was of an earth that was a paradise. It was about literally being a paradise. If you could imagine, Earth as a pristine, lush, vibrant, living, clean, clear, just beautiful space. We get bits of that when we go out into nature, we really do. But just imagine the whole earth like that, and what it would be like to be in that paradise. And that's the vision that came to me. And not only that, but the way to reimagine the earth to re-become that. Simply by imagining it. And so I knew that this was something that I would need to honor it. It was really sacred, I would even say holy experience. When I was listening to and speaking with the earth, when this vision came to me. And this is the time, and the time is now, where I'm inviting people in to come together. And I have to tell you another part of the story because it's important, and this is also something that's been coming to me recently from many different places. And that's how it is when the universe is speaking to you. They make sure that you're really listening and you're hearing. And the message often comes in many different ways. So I was listening to a podcast with and I'm going to forget her name at the moment, but I've mentioned it in my blog post, so you can feel like her last name is Twist. I don't want to butcher it, so I will ask you to look at the blog post for her name. And I was listening to this podcast, and it was Lynn Twist, I'm pretty sure it was Lynn Twist. She was talking about caterpillars and how the caterpillars have what's called imaginal cells, and this is not a made-up name. This is the scientific name. I feel like the universe was whispering in the scientists' ears when they created this, when they named it. So these imaginal cells hold the vision of the butterfly. And the caterpillar resists at first because, who wants to change? And so the imaginal cells start to cluster together. And eventually there's enough of them that the caterpillar dissolves and the butterfly is born from these imaginal cells. And so that's been very inspiring to me, because I feel like that's what the universe, the earth, is inviting us to do, to reimagine ourselves. And I could say reimagine the earth because in a sense that's what we're doing, but in reality we're reimagining ourselves, because we are not disconnected from the earth. We are not separate beings as it seems to be. So I am inviting you to join me in this act of creation, this act of reimagining, together with these beautiful stone beings. And we're going to do this once a month. And what I had been doing last year in 2023 was we were meeting once a month and we were connecting with the crystals, whoever we decided to bring, or if people wanted to tap into the crystal that I brought in at the time. And we were connecting deeply with the crystal and bringing through messages, healings, sensations, and whatever else happened to come through that at that moment. So we'll still have that. We will still bring through a message from our crystal. We will still make our connection with our crystal. But what we're also going to do is spend a little time imagining the earth as the paradise that she is. And our first one was just over a week ago. And it was a really magical and deeply moving experience. One that I'm still holding in my body. And I can tell you what I experienced. There was someone who experienced a very expansive heart opening. And that was really beautiful to be witness to and to be present with. And I will share what I experienced, which was these 4 crystals creating a type of chariot that I was carried in. And then the chariot disappeared and I was floating, really relaxed and comfortable in my body, and just really felt like I was being held even though I was floating. kind of like reminds me of the Super 7, the Sacred 7 crystal that's here, which is solid, and then there's parts that allow you to be in the space, the inside out experience. So I was freely floating, yet fully held. And I felt something really shift in me, a peacefulness that kind of came over me that I'm still holding, that I've been carrying with me, that has been what I describe when I have these kinds of experiences as being one with the divine, as walking in life with the divine beside me. And it's a mystical experience. It's words just don't do justice. But we try to describe our experience, and I feel like those who have had such experiences can understand, and those who haven't can be inspired. So that's what I wanted to come to you today to talk about. The magic of these crystals, the magic of the experience of the crystal earth, which is what I've just called the monthly meetings. And I invite you, and if you don't, if you aren't able to make it, I invite you to just play with that vision of paradise in your imagination whenever you feel inspired to. And pick up a crystal. You don't have to do it alone. Invite a crystal in to journey with you. I hope you'll join us. But I trust that you'll have a really beautiful experience on your own, should you choose to do that as well, or instead of. So thank you for listening, and I send you lots and lots and lots of love and inspiration and all the good things. And I will see you next time.